guys, I'm going to hit on a very different topic today, and I just want to have a little bit more casual, just kind of rant a little bit. But this one really hits close to home with me because a lot of what I'm about to talk about is also one of the main reasons why I even went into owning my own business in the first place. This is one of the many reasons why I decided to leave corporate America, and it's also something that I've really matured in over the last 2.5 years, and it's something that I know that I've really struggled with this when I first started being a business owner, and I continue to struggle with it because it's just not natural human behavior, I don't think, but it's something that I've learned to appreciate over time, and I really want to talk about it. It's called, and it's not called, but it's empathetic leadership. So that's leading with empathy, and it's really interesting because there's a lot of different people who talk about, or people or books who talk about different types of leadership styles or ways to lead. But I think at the end of the day, when you're working with people, regardless of class or income level or intellectual level or the type of business you're in, people are people, and people have problems. And whether it's in corporate America or working for a small business, people bring those problems to work. Now you, as a leader, the question I have for you is, what are you going to do with those problems? And, when I first started running my business about 2.5 years ago, I didn't care about your problems. Your problems are your problems. And that's just it just doesn't work because, if you're having a bad day, you're going to bring that to the office or to your job site or to wherever it is you're going, to the mall, to the restaurant. There are just nasty people out there, but sometimes there are nice people out there who are not having a good day. And I think one of the things that I've learned to cherish, I used to hate doing this, but I've learned to cherish over the last 2.5 years, is turning other people's problems into just something that I despise hearing to really more of, how can I be of service? And it's really counterintuitive because, again, I'm not interested in your problems, and I generally am not. But I also want people to feel valued and appreciated. And sometimes problems are personal, and they are none of my business, but for whatever reason people are compelled to share that with me. But sometimes problems are also work-related, and it's my duty as a leader and as a business owner and as a manager of people to try and figure out how can I best hear those people out, understand what they're going through, and then try and help them out to the best of my abilities. So I want to start this with an actual real situation. So I want to make this very real for you guys. I got an email from another business owner that I know, and this email is in a sarcastic tone, talks about, here's some recent highlights that I've been dealing with, and I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just picking one of them. So bear with me. I made an employee cry on Monday. Wasn't trying to. He's just a baby. He also smells. I've had customers complain about it. Ever had to have a conversation with a grown-ass man about showering and washing his clothes? Yeah, not awkward at all. The thing is I don't feel bad for this business owner who wrote this email because I've gone through the same thought process of, why can't people get the basic things down in life, like showing up to work or being responsible or doing yada yada yada. And one of the challenges I've had from the beginning was not willing to empathize. And what does that really mean for me? That means getting down on people's level, hearing them out, and really trying to understand what is it that's going on and how can I help them out, instead of me trying to serve my own needs, which is go wash yourself and get your act together and go do your job. Because that's the easy thing to say. It's not always the easy thing to follow up on, because I don't know about you, but if somebody said that to me, I wouldn't feel valued as an employee. And that kind of gets into what I've tried to do in the last 2.5 years with my business, is creating a culture of value. And what do I mean by that? People get jobs for one basic need, and that's they got bills to pay, or they have dreams and aspirations and they want to help accomplish those, and a job is a means to an end. But sometimes people don't always just get a job because of the pay. There are other things you can offer as a leader or as a business owner, things such as flexibility, recognition, opportunity to advance, the type of work, the type of people you get to work with, the type of boss you are. And so I learned earlier that the culture is a very important part of the fabric of your company, and not having a strong culture, or a culture that's actually lived and breathed on the day-to-day of your business, And what I mean by that is that means that you actually have to have a culture or values that you stand by and live and lead yourself. Putting it on a piece of paper and on the wall doesn't check that box. You have to live and breathe it. But it also takes time to establish, and also takes time to build a team around those cultural values that you may want to establish. So what I would advise is really take the time to think about what is it that you value as an employer or as a business leader in your organization, and then think about how do you start to weave that into the fabric of your organization. Because once you start to do that, and once you start to live those values, one of two things will happen. Either A, you're going to attract people who share those values, or B, you're going to weed out the people who don't have those values. And it took me about 2 years to really get to a place where I have a team that shares the values that I have for my organization. But what's cool about that is now when you have these types of situations that come up, because we're very open about our values and what we believe in, and the fact that we actually care about you as an employee, we can actually sit down and have a conversation with this grown-ass man in a way that's not judgmental. It's, hey, Mr. Stevens, you understand our dress code policy, you understand what we do here, and you also understand that we have a culture of having the right attitude. So one of the things we want to address here is your approach or your attitude to how you do your job. And sometimes it may come down to, hey, look, man, I've been struggling to pay my bills. I don't have clothes, or I haven't had a chance to take a shower because I'm working 3 other jobs. And sometimes you just don't understand the context, and I think that's what's really allowed me to change my approach from an aggressive, you need to get your act together, to more of a, hey, let me understand what's going on, because I know that there's requirements to this job, and you're not satisfying all those requirements right now, so how can I help you versus how do I tell you what to do? And I've realized that that's really changed the dialogue, and it's also created this culture of value where an individual feels valued to the point where they're able to share their opinion or voice their concerns or share their frustrations. And when they feel that they're valued or they're heard, then they're able to, or we're able to collectively as a team or as an organization address those concerns. And I've just found that, one, the effects of that are just astronomical in terms of the amount of commitment and loyalty you build around a team that feels valued. But two, it's just satisfying as a leader to know that, hey, I'm able to make an impact on someone's life just beyond the paycheck. Sometimes for me, I do it for more than just the money. I do it for the fact that I'm able to make a positive impact in someone's life or help them further develop themselves or get better at something else in their lives. So if I can do that, make that kind of impact in someone beyond the basic satisfying of a job, then I think I've done something better than I could have. So I really value that, and why this hits close to home today, because I had personally, so I shared somebody else's story. But I had personally had three separate instances today where I was challenged to show empathy. And I would say in 2 of those cases, I really didn't want to show empathy. I wanted to cut the bull crap, get to the bottom of this, solve the problem, and get people out of the way. Because I'm driven, okay? It's been a long day already. It's 6:30 in the evening, and I'm tired, and I spent 2 hours talking to 2 different individuals about something that I personally, just between you and me, I really don't care about. But it's my job as a leader, and as I believe, I try to aspire to be a servant leader, to hear them out, understand their concerns and frustrations, and do everything I can to resolve the matter at hand. Now, I haven't resolved it yet, because people are people and they're complex, and these things take time. But I love how Gary Vee puts it. For those of you who don't know who Gary Vee is, Google him, you will not regret it. Gary Vee says, man, you don't know what's happening behind their bedroom doors at home. And the first time I heard him say that, which was maybe about half a year ago, when I was going through this journey of trying to be more empathetic and compassionate towards my staff, when I first heard him say it, I'm like, man, he's right. Because guess what? You don't know what happens behind my bedroom doors, the private conversations I have with my wife about my frustrations and challenges and the issues that I face on a day-to-day basis. And neither does my staff. In the same sense, I don't know what they're going through at home. I don't know what they're going through with their marriage or with their kids or their bills. Man, people are complex. And I think that's really what I've learned to appreciate as a business owner. It's been extremely challenging to swallow, honestly, because I have to swallow a lot of pride to be able to do that. But it's also humbled me too, because coming from corporate world where you work with very driven, ambitious people, and it's work, and then you die, I've realized that coming here with that same mentality, coming here to a small business environment, that same mentality doesn't work, because people will leave. You will lose good people. You will lose sucky people. You will lose all kinds of people if you don't take it beyond the paycheck. So I implore you, I encourage you. I could talk about this for hours, but the key is, stop judging people in their situations. I know it frustrates the crap out of you, because I can relate to this business owner that shared this email with me. I 100% get it. I want people to do their jobs. I want people to be effective. I don't care about this and that. I'm not interested in that. I'm not one for drama. But sometimes all people want is for somebody to listen. And sometimes when you provide that listening and that understanding, and that you show that compassion, you'd be amazed what kind of doors you can open to helping people out. And in the long run, again, it's not about self-serving or anything. It's truthfully, in the long run, it's about building relationships. It's about investing in people and showing that you care about them, because that's what this is all about. We work more than we do anything else on this planet. If you show people that you care about them, then you would be amazed what those people would do for you. Again, not in the intent of, I want you to do this for me because I did that for you, but serve people. And they may not come back to you through that person, but you'd be amazed how building that culture of empathy and compassion and valuing individuals, you would be amazed at how that's going to come back to you for your business, for your organization, for your family, for your loved ones, for your friends. If you can show more empathy and compassion towards people, you'd be amazed at what kind of a difference you can make in this planet. And if that's the only mark I leave, then I'm pretty good with that one. Have a good night. Back to work.